Hey everyone, DANIELIEZER here. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a series that has recently hit its anniversary title. Although it is a bit late to do this, but hey, I figure getting around it right now. But the series is a bit obscure. There have only been like a few games. The series is called Super Mario. I don't think you've ever heard of it, but there have been like a few games. They sometimes do a variety of games for different types of genres. But overall, it's a pretty neat series. I mean, have you ever heard of it? Because I can say I have. Super Mario, who doesn't know his name? Originally appearing in 1981 on the Donkey Kong arcade, and then having his own NES game in 1983, to having his first voice actor, Charles Martinet, in 1992, to having his first 3D platformer in 1996. And those are just some of his most notable milestones, at least to me at least. But overall, I mean, everyone knows him. Parents know him, grandparents probably know him, and most likely he will go down in history as one of the most iconic video game mascots. With the amount of platformers, RPGs, sports games, remakes of previous games that are charged at $60, all done by a company that is basically somewhat greedy when you really look at it. Oh yeah, and this. For today's review, we're taking a look at the Super Mario All-Stars bundle, specifically the one that included Super Mario World with it. This is a bundle that contains Mario's first 5 adventures, and I figured why not get around to reviewing it, because when am I ever going to get a chance to talk about him? Individually? That'd be foolish. But I probably should explain what is the All-Stars bundle. During the Super Nintendo era, Nintendo wanted to commemorate Mario's anniversary, so they decided to put together a bit of a remake of the 4 NES games, all remastered with new graphics to fit the 16-bit style, and titled it Super Mario All-Stars. Now granted, it is a good title and a good game, and a fun way to play the original games on a 16-bit style, but for today, we're not taking a look at that. Instead, we're going to be taking a look at the original NES games, thanks to the NES app. We'll also take a look at Super Mario World, since that was also repackaged into the All-Stars bundle later on down the line. Alright, but let's get underway. Let's start with the first Mario game. This is going to be one of those videos, isn't it? Surprisingly, I do have some nostalgia moments with this game. Although the original Mario Bros. Was not what I played what most kids in the 2000s grew up with, Super Mario Bros. Deluxe for the Game Boy Color. And surprisingly, that title was alright. For what it was, basically was just Mario, but on a screen crunch. Yeah, I have no idea how I got through most of my life playing this game. And I'll admit, I never actually finished it. I just kind of stopped after World 8 because it's World 8. But for what I got most enjoyment out of it. Hell, I remember so much liking the other features this game come with, including the encyclopedia, the calendar. I didn't know what these features were as a child. Oh, and I also enjoyed Boo Race. But right back to the NES version, I mean, it's the first Mario Brothers. You can't really screw something up that much. Although I will say, going back to play this after playing like more of the modern titles, yeah, that's going to be a bit of whiplash. The first level works well as an introduction level, and each level going through teaches you a brand new thing to watch out for, such as the Lakitus, or new enemy varieties, or different types of level variety. I think like the water level only shows up at World 3 or 4. But overall, I mean, the level style and graphics that we have here are honestly pretty charming. Each level you go to has something brand new to show off, or a new mixture of assets, whether it be showing the level off in nighttime, turning all the assets white to signify that it's snowing, or just being in the sky and dodging Lakitus. Or is it Cheep? I keep forgetting the names of these guys. But my one complaint with the original NES version is the Bowser stages. Not that the Bowser stages are that hard, but it's the ones that mainly contain puzzles, as there's no significant audio cue like in Deluxe that tells you, oh, you went down the right way. It's just keep trying until you figure it out or you time out. So there's that issue, but overall, I mean, the first Mario Bros. Is not that bad. Plus, it's the first Mario Bros. Game that I honestly finished. I'll get to why later. Alright, 1 down, 4 more to go. Let's tackle the next one, technically in the chronological order. Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels. Now, technically, this is Super Mario Bros. 2 for Japan. But for us, we got it called The Lost Levels, because why not? Alright, let's get the positives out of the way. I do like how everything has more detail. That's not a bad thing, and I think that's honestly pretty cool that an NES game is trying to put in more graphical detail. And I do like how Luigi is different than his brother. Does that mean I like how Luigi plays? Just don't ever play as Luigi, unless you're a sadist. And that's everything I like. Yeah, very short. Alright, why do I not like this? The answer is simple. There is way too much bullshit in this game. The amount of stuff that shows up in each level, like, Jesus Christ, it makes me question what the devs were thinking. Like, this is indeed a harder version of the original Mario Brothers. That was the intention, of course. But, okay, I know I did this to myself as well, but I just do not like Luigi's playstyle. Like, his little sliding shit has fucked me over more times than I can count. Now, the only memorable thing I could remember from most of these levels, well, significantly, I guess, was mainly just the wind shit. Yeah, so this game features wind, which can push you around, which honestly fucks you up more than you can think. I mean, honestly, I hated this game so much that since I only had one life, I didn't feel like restarting the whole ass world, so I just kept using rewind to go back to the start of the level just to restart it. Look, this is a 40-year-old NES game, and I want to be able to tackle every single Mario game in the All-Stars collection and not head to a mental asylum.
Take me on home to the asylum. Take me home to lock me in the asylum. The asylum. The asylum.
But that was one version of Mario 2. What about the other version? For the US, we got Mario 2, Mario Madness. Wonder why it's named that. Alright, look. I want to like this game. I really do. But, let's do the breakdown. We'll start off with the good parts. So, we got 2 health bars, which is alright. You can get more by going through these special doors that will take you to a parallel shadow world. You look for the mushroom, and you can basically get the mushroom, and you get more health points. It goes up to 4. Not a bad idea. And I do like the picking up mechanic of picking up stuff, pretty much. I mean, that's kind of what this entire game's gimmick is mainly. And hell, Princess Peach still adapts this idea in Smash Brothers. So honestly, I like it. But for the life of me, I feel like the controls, I don't know. It mainly comes to, like, the ladders mostly. The controls on standard ground are fine, but, like, whenever I'm climbing up a ladder, it feels like I'm gonna slide off easily. It could be because my controller was, I don't know, fucked up a bit. I don't know. I don't really know if my controller's really fucked up or not. But I don't know. I just had a hard time going up and down ladders. And then for some of the enemies, they're alright. But the boss fights, I don't know. It's kind of just the first one. Like, take, for example, the first one. You have to basically time the throw of the bomb to make sure it actually blows up on the little pipsqueak rat here. And also, every mini-boss against Birdo, it's all just Birdo. Like, it's all the same thing. You basically just get on top of the egg and throw it at him, pretty much. That's just it. I know there are some people who like this game, and I'm not trying to dish hate on you. I can understand why you like it. I mean, it's a short game, honestly, but I just couldn't bring myself to honestly finish it. I understand the appeal of it. It's not something I'd really go back to. And it just makes me ask more questions as why things are like this.
So far for the sequel to the original Mario Bros, the one in Japan honestly just pisses me off to an extent, and the other one just makes me very confused as to why they were doing this. Like, why were these decisions made? Like, what were they thinking? There's your angry video game nerd quote for the day. But alright, let's get the elephant out of the room and the obvious information out of the way if you're a Mario expert. Obviously, Mario Bros. 2 is a repackaged version of Doki Doki Panic, a game that was released in Japan. Just Mario characters. That's why some of these characters look like they don't belong in the Mario universe, aside from a few exceptions like Shy Guy and Birdo. But that's why also the game is built like that. But if both sequels of Mario Bros. 2 either made you very pissed off or confused, what can Mario Bros. 3 do to save it? Well, I'll tell you right now, because it already happened.
Mario Bros. 3 is where Nintendo has finally found their footing when it comes to the Mario formula. Here we get introduced to an overworld map, being able to go inside toad houses to grab more items or gamble, an entire storage room of items that we can select a new item that would be used in future Mario games, the Tanuki Leaf, the Frog Suit, okay, I know that one's bad, but the Frog Suit, enemies appearing in the overworld for you to battle to get a new item, multiple pathways to take, so that you don't have to take one individual level, even though I'd say just do all the levels, like Jesus Christ. Hell, there's even a moment where after you reach the final boss, you have to chase them around the overworld if you want to retry the level. But overall, that's kind of it. I mean, we have most of the standards that we see in most modern Mario titles, mostly in the new Super Mario Bros. Series. But overall, there's a reason these were reused in the future title. The stages don't last that long, but to be fair, at least for me, I don't mind it. Mainly because I'm trying to get this video done before March is over, but that's kind of too late because it's fucking April. And as for the boss fights, we fight the Koopalings, who... Yeah, fight the Koopalings. And as for the mini-bosses, we even get a few matches against Boom Boom, who would show up in future titles. But as for the Koopalings, they do get their powers from these mystical wands that they steal from... the Mushroom King? The Kings of the 8 Worlds? What?
Yeah, I too am confused about this whole king stuff. I think it was around the time Nintendo was still establishing, or trying to establish what kind of lore they wanted for the Mario universe. But I do remember one of these kings showing up in the copy I have of The Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3. In one of the episodes, the Koopalings do turn one of the kings into an animal, so I guess points for accuracy. Okay, before we go into Super Mario World... I just want to ask, or bring this up about the Super Show again. I find it very weird how, when World was coming out, I might be incorrect about this, I didn't do my research. I find it weird how, when the Super Show was coming out, and they were about to do the adaptation for World, you know, Yoshi being one of the main sellers, of course, the writer made the decision to make the entire world go prehistoric, which everything, you know, everything's just cavemen and stuff, and Mario and Luigi are just there. I don't know, it just feels weird that they made that decision because, you know, Yoshi's a dinosaur, so let's go into a world of prehistoric age with dinosaurs and stuff. I don't know, it's a very bizarre decision. But I guess it's sold, I guess, who knows.
Now, Super Mario World... I'm gonna do a little bit of a cheap shot here, though, and say I've already completed this on the other channel I had called The Mighty Gamers. We have a completed save file in there. But I will say this, it's just Mario Bros. 3 on the SNES, which is not a bad thing. There are some differences between the two. Obviously, one, there's a graphical upgrade and stuff. But I will admit, there's a lot of stuff here that actually improves upon the original formula that 3 had. Such as new ideas like being able to run up walls, the switches in which you have to go around the map and activate these switches that affect different parts of the level that have the little invisible exclamation marks, it's hard to explain. Reworking the level finishing area where instead of just going off stage, you actually hit a certain mark and for the star meter and then you do a little mini game. Like I said, it's hard to explain these kind of things. Mario having a new ability, which is being able to take out the little eye blocks by just doing a little spin jump. I always thought that was neat. And then there's the guy on the main box art, that's kind of the main selling point of this game, Yoshi. Being able to use him and absorb fruit to gain new items, or use him as a way of shooting back projectiles at enemies. But there are some stuff that does copy from Mario Bros. 3, I'm not gonna lie. The Cape power-up is, you could say, a copy of the Tanuki power-up. Granted, they work differently, I know that, but there's still some similarity when you look at it. The Koopalings do show up as well, and unlike, you know, stealing the wands of the kings, they have their own powers and stuff, so at least there's some originality there. And of course, there is the running meter system where, you know, you build up a run enough with enough momentum, you can basically boost up in the air. And that's kind of most of the comparisons I can see from 3 and World. Not to say that's bad or anything, but that I can point that out. But I think it still works well in the SNES version. Plus, there's the other stuff that I mentioned that honestly works well with the old stuff that's brought in from 3. So honestly, I will say Mario Bros. World is a great evolution in the Mario formula. It's clear that because I still see people do a bunch of like speedruns and stuff online if you go on YouTube Shorts. But overall, I could say that Mario Bros. World is a great evolution of Mario Bros. 3. One thing I will admit is that I did not beat the Special World. I did beat Bowser and all that, but I never beat the Special World that you're supposed to do. Game's still great, by the way. As for the remake versions of the SNES games, they're honestly more superior in every way with the updated graphics and everything, although I do think Mario Bros. Lost Levels is a little bit lazy, just using the same assets. I wish they would have honestly changed up the art style and stuff. But other than that, I mean, honestly, they're much more better, control much better, and the checkpoint system. Plus, in the case of Mario Bros. 2, Mario Madness, there's actually more stuff to work with in there, such as time-stopping powers and invincibility lasting much longer. So yeah, honestly, major improvements. Plus the ladders honestly work much better.
But yeah, that's the 5-ology? 5-ology? Philology. Okay, that was a series of Mario Bros. Games that led up from the NES all the way to the Super Nintendo. I'm not counting Yoshi's Island, by the way. But overall, I mean, it was kind of interesting taking a look at the evolution of Mario. First, I guess I'll give my brief synopsis of it. First, Mario Brothers, pretty solid game. You got from point A to point B. It was pretty solid all around. The Lost Levels. I hated every second I did doing that. And sure, I may not have finished the game, but to be fair, do I really want to finish a game where I get the exact same ending? Not to say that's bad or anything, it's an NES game. But I do appreciate the increase of graphical detail that the game offered. Mario Bros. 2 on for the US. Very confusing, really short game actually. And honestly, I know people like that game, and I'm not going to bash on you guys for that, because we all have our version of Mario that we like. But I don't know, the controls in that game honestly just felt weird, and the bosses just felt very bullshit, and I don't know, I just got tired of fighting Birdo as a mini-boss, almost 3 versions. Sure, they change up how you fight him, or her, I'm not getting into that shit. But overall, it was a meh title. Would I play it again? If I needed to capture more footage, then yes. Mario Bros. 3. Okay, that one felt like a true successful evolution of the Mario formula. Introducing a lot of game mechanics that were used nowadays in the Super series, or the new Super Mario Bros. Series. Overall, I pretty much enjoyed it. Even though I really wanted to play more of it, I still enjoyed it all around. And plus, I enjoyed like fighting the Koopas and stuff. And I enjoyed how short the game was. Maybe it would have been better if it was more longer, but overall, pretty enjoyable. Plus, they have gambling. Who could argue against gambling? Mario Bros. World, overall, a true another successful evolution, actually, of the Mario formula. Everything being taken up to the 16-bit quality. Sure, some of the power-ups are basically like recycled a bit from 3, but overall, I pretty much enjoyed the new landscapes we got. Boo houses being introduced, other stuff that I can't remember, and the world felt more fun to explore around. Like, sure, 3's overworld map was pretty energetic and stuff, but 3 felt more like you're actually exploring like a sort of makeshift version of the actual US map. Or the world map, I guess. But yeah, and I can still see why people do love playing like fan-made versions or fan-made levels of World. I don't know, if you ever get those on YouTube Shorts where you see people just do like those crazy like ass platforming, then you know what I'm talking about. But overall, yeah, Mario as a franchise itself, you know, it's evolved into so many games that you can see here. I don't know, it's just great to see it. And sure, nowadays, I mean, with the newest game coming out, Mario Bros. World, I'm excited for what they're going to be introducing into that game and the new concept they have going on for it. And for the record, yes, I know about the other controversial stuff about it. I got my own thoughts on it, but I'm just talking about the game itself and what I like about it. But overall, I'm glad that Mario's a franchise. I don't know, there's nothing else I can really say. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, hopefully you all enjoyed me taking a look at Mario. And don't worry, next time we will have a chance of taking a look at another Mario trilogy of games. Alright, this isn't going to be the last time we talk about Mario, or talk about a group of Mario games. So yeah, hope everybody enjoyed, and I'll see everyone later. See ya.